Hello everybody, so I will show you today what is new in Salesforce Inspector. I will do a little presentation about all the stuff, important stuff, which is present in Salesforce Inspector. There are many things that I add to the project. To have a quick summary, Salesforce Inspector original extension was no more supported for a long time. Now, I think it was 2 years ago. There is no update at all, and there is a fork which is named Salesforce Inspector Reloaded, which starts. So I tried to send some pull requests in order to improve it, but we don't. The pull request I sent was not included in the project, so I start a new fork with many more stuff, and hopefully it's working well. And there is many things that I need in my daily job that I used every day. And so I want to share with you what's new in Salesforce Inspector Advanced. So Salesforce Inspector Advanced is based on Salesforce Inspector Reloaded, which is based on Salesforce Inspector. So first, UX is the key. So as you see, there is an option menu here where we can find all the options, but I try to avoid to go to option and try to have all done by UX. So for example, the button, you can move it just by clicking on it. If you want to resize the window, you just have to click on the left corner and you can drag and drop. Easier, really far easier than just going to option and change the size on the option. Second stuff I want to share is that here, if you go on Apex Runner, I will focus mainly on Apex Runner just to show you what's new in it. You will go to this menu where you can run anonymous script. So it's quite like the run anonymous code from Apex Dev Console on Salesforce. So you can run Apex code, you can launch a batch or launch unqueue a job, for example, and when you run it, after you will see the result directly in the jobs tabs. Second stuff is that you can run a unit test. Test will be run and you will see the results there. And on the second page, you will see the code coverage directly. So if you have an issue because code coverage is too low, it will be displayed and you can focus on this class to add more unit tests. So it's really better in order to understand what's wrong with your code in order to deploy to production environment. Of course, when you run jobs, you produce logs. Logs can come from many stuff. Anyway, if you want to launch to enable logs, you just have to select a user, and after when you have selected your user, you can enable logs. By default, you can just enable logs on your code, on your user, and you will enable it. When the logs is enabled, you will see the logs here. First, you can delete all the logs with just a single button. So it will be easy to delete all logs, because sometimes it happens that you fill your environment, your sandbox, with a lot of data from logs. So thanks to that, you can quickly delete all in order to restart from a fresh environment. Second stuff is that when you have logs, you can just analyze your logs. By going here, you see the length on your right, and for example, you have a 17 megabyte logs here, and you have the menu View Logs. If you click on View Logs, you will arrive on this page. This page, it takes about a few seconds in order to download the logs from the Salesforce server, and you will have the logs displayed here. It's really fast. If you go here, as you see, I can navigate really fast. Indeed, it displays only the log you currently see. So that's why if you're looking for data in the logs, you have to use this search, for example. And if I use the contract, for example, you will see all the contracts you have in the logs. And if you do so, you can navigate thanks to that. And if you hit Shift Enter, you can switch back, scroll back, in order to find all the keywords you are searching for. Second stuff, you can, of course, use filter as only see debug or only see SOQL or SOSL or DML or callout. Really useful in order to find some information. And of course, exception. In our case, I will switch back to without filter. Of course, you can download your logs, and in order to delete after all log, for example, on your environment, and analyze it later, because it can be loaded directly from the file. So really useful in order to analyze logs later when you don't have time. You can download the log from, for example, production environment, and analyze it later, and do not need to keep it on the server in order to proceed it. And when you display the logs here, as you see, there is some keyword which is displayed with some color, so it's highlighted. So it's really useful in order to find the most common stuff you analyze. For example, it will show you the method. When you enter in a method, you get out of a method, or SOSL, SOQL, callout, and so on, or DML too. If you go to profile to profiler, you will see a hierarchy of all the call and how much time it takes. So this hierarchy is not complete it's not the complete view of the log. It's only node which take a lot of time, or which have SOQL, SAML, SOSL, or DML in it, or callout. So it's easier to find what takes time and to analyze. But best when you want to analyze time is here. Here you have a fully graph, a flame graph, in order to analyze. And if you click on any item, you can just go on the, for example, yellow is SOQL, you click on it and directly you go to the line of code where you have the row in the row log, on the line where you have the SOQL. Second stuff is that there is another view, which is resource, when you have the full list of SOQL, and it counts. So if you have a SOQL in loop or DML in loop, you will see directly where is it. Same, in resource, you will have callout, DML, SOQL, SOSL. So all stuff related which take a resource, which use resource, will be listed. So it's easier to find when you have something in a loop, a resource usage in a loop. And to finish, the Apex view. Apex view is really really useful. When you see on your left, you will have the full class in Apex, and all the line color in green, there is some logs related to it. If it's color in red, it means that there is an exception. For example, if I click there, I see that where the name is all the time the logs passed on this line, and what is indeed set here, it sets the name properties, and as you see, each time it sets the property, we see it. Second thing, that if you click after on the log line on the right, it will go directly on the line, but inside the full log. Really useful to find information and to understand where it's stuck, where you are stuck in your Apex code. So as you see, you can navigate both to Apex and Apex back to log. Second stuff, for example, here you have statement execute, as you see. If you click on this number, which is the Apex log line number, you will directly go to the Apex view in order to see the line. So really useful. That's it for the presentation of Apex Runner. Of course, there is few other stuff which is interesting. I don't want to waste some time on it, but mostly you will have suggestion over query on text on query editor, which is really useful. You can navigate with arrow on the keyboard or with the mouse, of course. And there is few other things I can show you on that export, but it's not the most important stuff today. So I will stop now, but hope you will enjoy my short explanation about what's new in Salesforce Inspector Advanced. Thanks, bye-bye.